So recently, I swapped in a ZS212 4-valve on my Honda Grom clone here, my Boom Vader. And we're working on getting her dialed in, getting her tuned up all nice and well. I abandoned the freaking carb that came with it. That thing was a piece of junk, or I'm dumb. Could be either or. I got a Nibbi PE28 in there right now. And the only other mod I've done to this thing currently is put a 16-tooth front sprocket on it. Because the sprocket that came with this thing, the chain pitch didn't match, you know, what I had going on already. But I've been mainly trying to get this carb dialed in, because we did some tests running around. And the 40 Pilot 115 main seemed to be doing pretty good, but she was stuttering a little bit right there in the middle. And I've been trying to get an idea whether, you know, whether it's lean or rich, and I'm just gonna have to ride this thing, check the plug, and just go from there. And some guys have been talking about maybe getting a bung, welding it into the exhaust there, running an air fuel gauge. That's gonna give the best readings, but you know, I'm lazy and cheap. So we don't have to, we're not going to. As long as she's close. That's really what I'm looking for. And of course, the only way to do that is actually just ride the thing. I did make one other change though, because it turns out the air fuel screw set from, I don't know, the Nibbi factory it was like 2 1/4 turns out. And on the Nibbi carb, counterclockwise is, what do you call it, leaner. So I adjusted that, now we're exactly 2 turns out, and I'm not getting that little boggin issue in the middle anymore. Of course, also, this morning it was like 54-ish Fahrenheit, and the original test ride was about 50 Fahrenheit. And then this afternoon's like 80-ish, something like that. Colder air, of course, being denser, more oxygen, all that good stuff. But I'm not sure how much of a difference it actually makes. The Nibbi carb, though, did make a difference, just in itself as a whole, because I think it's got the proper jetting in it. Because the cheap carb that came with this thing, last one I tested was a 125 before I gave up on it. So that knockoff carb either didn't flow worth a crap, or that 125 jet was just way too big. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that jet being way too big, because night and day difference with the Nibbi. And the reason I went with the Nibbi is because I put the PE22 on the 125cc engine when I bought it, and yeah, I didn't have to do any tuning with that, like none. And the only thing I've done so far on this is the air-fuel mixture screw, and so far that seems to make a bit of a difference. One thing I thought I'd see more of a difference, and it may just be because this engine's not broken in, or I'm not like hammering on it, because with the 125, I was used to just kind of basically just freaking wide open everywhere. The wide open throttle, that is I thought I'd get a bit more top end out of this thing. That could also be a gearing issue, though. She does accelerate a lot better than she did before, though. I just got to not bog this freaking engine down. I think that's part of what I'm doing. You got to get used to this thing. But off the line, yeah, there's a noticeable little difference. It's no speed demon, but it's definitely better than it was before. But I'm not quite to the point with this thing where I'm going to hop on Capitol Boulevard here in afternoon traffic. It's a little light at this moment in time, but yeah, we're not ready for that yet. Further testing required. But I think it's in a pretty good spot, because when it was, when I got to work this morning, it was warm. Like a 5-6 mile ride somewhere in that area. I gave her a couple little revs, and it seemed to just come right back down to, the idle opposite. And the tach just kind of dropped right back down to where she needed to be, where she's kind of sitting at idle. And I'm also not 100% sure if that seems slightly erratic, or if it's just this cheap gauge. It's 100% possibility, this cheap gauge. Because honestly, I don't think these things report fuel accurately either, because there is at least half a tank in here. I know for a fact, because I've filled it myself. But I would be curious to see what speeds we could actually get with this thing, because I was maxing out about 55 miles an hour with the 125, with a 17-tooth front sprocket and whatever the stock rear is. The rear is still the stock on this thing. It's still whatever came onto Veda. And I'm trying to decide if the gears in this thing are just a little too tall or not. But considering I've put a grand total of maybe like 25 miles on this thing since the swap got done, and this is the actual like first half legitimate ride I'm able to take on this thing other than just going around the block, time will tell. I will say this though, she does do pretty good on the acceleration front. It is a noticeable difference. I would say this is definitely inspires more confidence when in traffic, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't feel like I'm holding up anybody. But this little Vader's only got like 12-inch wheels anyway, so the question is how fast do I even really want to go on this thing? Because I imagine you start getting too much above 60, 65, yeah, I don't know, man. But I've seen some guys throw some crazy numbers up on some of these swaps, you know, the 190s and 212s claiming anywhere between like 70, 80 miles an hour, and honestly, on these little 12-inch tires, man, I don't know, makes me nervous a little bit. But swapping the engine definitely makes this bike more usable, and if you're curious what's entailed in swapping that, at least in like a Boom Vader anyway, little Honda Grom clone, you can check that video out right here. And as always, y'all be good. See ya.